Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.
Hello all, welcome to Ganesh IAS Academy. This is a special session. In this session, we are going to discuss about the previous year UPSC Mains economic question. Let's begin the session. This question was asked in 2014. It is a 10 mark 150 words question. So the question is the right to fair compensation and the transparencies in land acquisition and rehabilitation and resettlement act 2013 has come into effect from 1st January 2014. Full stop. What are the key issues which would get addressed with the act in place? Question mark. What implication would it have on the industrializations and the agriculture in India? So the question is mainly about the right to fair compensation. You can simply say that what is right to fair compensation act? So it is about providing a correct way of, in the right manner of providing a compensation within the timely manner. So consider that if the government is going to procure land from a farmer or else person from the landowner, they have to give the fair compensation. For that, this is what they created this act. Here you can also speak about ease of doing business. So when it comes to India, the growth in the companies is mainly affected due to land acquisition process. The delay in the land acquisitions, that is affecting the company to be established in India. So to make a land acquisition, this takes lot of time. For example, in India, it is taking around 2 to 3 years in average. But when it comes to China or else any developed countries, it will be around a month. So in that scenario, this is the major thing we need to address. So for example, you can say about Gujarat model. The best model followed for the land acquisition is done by the Gujarat model. Okay, the Gujarat government did that. What they did is they will procure the land that are ready to be sold by the persons, and also what they did is the land that are not to be cultivated or else there is the government land which are not be used, in that thing they make it is ready to be available for the companies. So by the way, they made the process of land acquisition more easy. So that is called as Gujarat model. So that is the thing you can say. So when it comes to the growth of the industries, the major need here is the land acquisition. So that thing is made easy by this act. So in that way, you can say the introduction, or else you can speak about the ease of doing business also. Then you have to say about what are the key issues which would be get addressed in this act in place. So what are the things in it? So first of all, it is about the act contain about the return of land, which means they procured the land, they acquired the land acquisition happened, after which after more than 5 years still there is no process of any construction work has happened, then the land need to be returned to the person. So that is the act contains mainly in it. Next, it's about a consent. So if you are going to provide a land, if the government is asking for a land from you, the consent of that landowner is more important one. So no land can be acquired in the scheduled area without the consent of the Grama Sabhas, and no one shall be disposed unless all the payments are made and alternative sites for the resettlement and rehabilitation have been prepared. That is the major things of this act. Next, rehabilitations. They have to provide employment for one person from that family. That is also the thing. And next is about social impact assessment. You may come across the word called as environmental impact assessment. Here the social impact assessment. So social impact assessment is nothing but if there is the industry is going to be there. Okay, consider that in any region the industry is going to be built. What is the social implications around that region? For example, it is whether it is going to change any cultural things, or else it is going to affect any social activities of that person. So in that manner also they have to examine it. So that is called a social impact assessment. That is must when the process of this land acquisition is done. So that is also the important one. And then compensations. Compensation will be 4 times in the rural and 2 times in the urban areas. And the last thing is they appointed the district level magistrate to overcome any disputes related to this land acquisition. So that is also the important thing. So if there is any disputes, if you are approaching the normal courts, it is actually taking a huge time period. That is going to affect the landowners, at the same time the company. So both of them are going to affected by that. So to overcome that thing, they created a separate dispute redressal mechanism for this land acquisition. So that is also they did. So these are the major things. But the question is also asking that what implication would it have on the industrialization and the agriculture in India, and also what are the issues in it. First major issues is about the consent. When it comes to the accusation of if the government project is there, so if there is a government project and also the land acquisition is going to be done towards the government project, there will be no consent. This is the first major issue. Okay, so there is no consent. That is obviously going to affect the agriculture. And also it is providing certain inequalities or a edge over the government. So by the way, it is going to affect the industries, privates. So there is no concern for the government project. That is the major issue. Next, for non-agricultural land, see, when it comes to the land acquisition process, the act is not defined about agricultural land or else the non-agricultural land. So in that manner, the government or a private, anyone can acquire the any lands. So it is obviously going to affect the agricultural land, because when it comes to the agricultural land, there is a source of water. So most of the industries will be focusing on the agricultural land. So in that scenario, the agricultural land will be reduced. So the land area, it is going to be affected. The land area that comes under the agri is going to be affected by this act. So agriculture will be affected. Next major issue is absence of clear rules or else a written policy. So it said that if more than 5 years there is no things are happening in that land, you have to return it. But there may be any other issues may happen related to the industries. So they have to get still they are in the need of getting any clearance from any departments of the government. In that scenario also there will be delay in the implementation or the delay in building the companies. So in that scenario, if the government is saying that you need to return that land, means then the company will be affected. So industrialization won't happen. So there are many issues related to this act, which means there are many loopholes and also there is no clear definitions. So these are the major issues of this act. Okay, so in the end you can conclude that you say that the act should be amended and it should be defined what is the agri land, what is the non-agri land, and also when it comes to agri land, there won't be any growth of industries shouldn't be happened. In that manner, the act should be made. In the way you can recommend it, because our land area related to the agriculture or farming is reducing drastically, and also the issue of desertification also happening. So these are the major concerns are there. In that scenario, while only focusing on the development, if you are going to do that, means then there will be the obvious issue of the food shortages. So the food insecurity will happen. So that is the major issue. So the self-sufficient economy won't be there. That is the major issue you can see. So this is the thing you have to conclude it. Okay. So this is the way of addressing the answer. Please try to follow this thing. Thank you.